Hi, this is Ethan from Pursuit, and today we're going through Tesla's Q2 2020 vehicle production and deliveries. I'm going to start off by just reading through it, so everybody out there who wants to just listen in and doesn't know where to find this, you can find this at ir.tesla.com/news release / what does that say? News release. I'm sorry, I can't read the rest. You'll find it. Just type in, if you type into Google, Tesla Q2 2020 vehicle production. It is the first thing that comes up. It's on Tesla's actual investors page. So let's just read through this real quick. Tesla Q2 2020 vehicle production and deliveries, Palo Alto, California, July 02, 2020, Global Newswire. In the second quarter, we produced over 82,000 vehicles and delivered approximately 90,650 vehicles. There's a discrepancy there. They delivered more than they produced, and that's because, if you remember, Q1, they had, I think, 20,000. I'm not sure the number. It was a number of vehicles still on their books that hadn't been delivered from that quarter. They could have been in transit. They could have been just sitting in the parking lot, not sold yet. Most likely, they had already been bought, had already been produced for somebody, just hadn't made it to the delivery. Keys hadn't changed hands, if you want to say that. So let's see. They produced Model S and X combined 6,326, and they delivered 10,600, and 14% of that is subject to leasing. So instead of buying, they actually leased. Sorry about my thumb crossing the thing here. I'm reading this off the screen. So next we're on to Model 3 and Y. Now I wish they would have broken this down into the Model 3 and the Model Y, but they do like to have some ambiguity. Can't even say that word. Sorry about that. Just so that, I don't know, they like to keep it short and sweet. So this is the Model 3 and Y combined. They produced 75,946, and they delivered 80,000. So that number is, they only delivered, 4,000 more than they produced, which is pretty good. And only 4% of that is actually subject to leasing. And our totals are 82,272 produced and 90,650 produced, which that is some really, really impressive numbers. If you remember, Tesla, Q1 started April 1st, and their factory here in California was closed all of April and halfway through May. And as seen as a quarter is only 3 months of the year, they were only open and producing for half a quarter, and some of that time was actually ramping up. I mean, if you close a factory the size of Tesla's factory, it's going to take a while to get back to full production. So these are some really, really impressive numbers. Now, they do not break it down by how much they produced in California versus China, which is the reason they were able to produce this many vehicles, even though they're closed so long, is mainly China. Now, just as a quick guess, I think the China factory probably produced anywhere between 30 and 40,000 vehicles. I'd be inclined to guess like 38,000, somewhere in that range. And that number keeps growing. So next quarter, if they have both factories open the whole time, we could see some crazy, outstanding numbers. But let's get back into it. Okay, so while our main factory in Fremont was shut down for much of the quarter, we've successfully ramped production back to prior levels. Our net income and cash flow results will be announced along with the rest of our financial performance when we announce Q2 earnings. Our delivery count should be viewed as slightly conservative, as we only count a car as delivered if it is transferred to the customer and all paperwork is correct. Final numbers could vary by up to 0.5% or more. Tesla vehicle deliveries represent only one measure of the company's financial performance and should not be relied on as an indicator of quarterly financial results, which depend on a variety of factors, including the cost of sales, foreign exchange movements, and mix of delivery leased vehicles. Okay, so this is really, really important to remember. Tesla is not just a car company. They have software that they sell. They have their battery packs that they sell. Their mega packs. They also sell solar, and they have the Powerwall. They have a lot of different products, and this here is just the number of cars they sold. So there's a lot of unknowns when you're talking about Tesla and whether they'll be profitable or not. Now, the last quarter they were profitable, which was a surprise, and I do believe they delivered 85,000 cars, which is less than they delivered this quarter. But you got to remember, there's some nuances to that. It's like Tesla is not responsible to pay for the materials of that they make the vehicles out of, typically for 30 to 60 days, maybe some suppliers up to 90 days. So like if the cars they were building in February, they didn't have to pay for those in Q1. They had to pay for them in Q2 though. So I don't know how that'll actually work out, because if they're building less cars, if they don't build a car for a month and a half, but are still paying for materials that they built a month, 3 months before, it could skew the books a little bit. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not skilled enough in this knowledge. But another thing to remember is that Tesla's solar gigafactory is actually in New York, which is one of the hardest hit states in this whole pandemic. And they've most likely been closed the longest. I don't actually remember if they've been opened up yet. So even if they have, I bet production would be really low and difficult. So I bet their solar production has actually gone down. And as far as batteries, Nevada did shut down for a bit there in April. And that can actually hurt a lot of things. That means less power walls, less cars in general. So it'll be really interesting to see how everything else adds up. But we do know that Elon Musk sent out an email just 3 days ago saying, hey, we're so close to profitability. And even if they get close, I mean, I would be extremely happy if they lost 50 cents per share, right? It's like, even if they're losing a little bit of money, I mean, they've been losing money for the last 10 years. And if they can go through the pandemic where every company in the world's losing money and they don't lose any more money than usual, that is actually a really good sign, because that means next quarter, the quarter after that, the next 3 years, they could be extremely profitable. Even though they're ramping up Giga Berlin, they're just building a factory hopefully in Texas, and they're still finishing all their other factories. Even with all of that extra expenses, they could still be profitable going forward. And I love the way Elon Musk put it. He's like, going forward, we should be profitable, barring World War III. World War III happens, maybe we won't be profitable. And it's like, that is a really cool company to invest in. Thank you guys all for listening. I hope this helped you some. I really do love dialoguing with you guys. If you would like, go ahead and leave a question or comment down in the comments. I do read every comment. And go ahead and like and subscribe for future content. It really does help out the channel. Thank you all, and have a great day.